Ever wonder why that blue drink turns your tongue blue but doesn't actually contain any blueberries? What might be the most significant food regulation shift in decades? The FDA has launched an unprecedented crackdown on synthetic food dyes. This isn't just about making your treats less Instagram-worthy. It's about your health, your children's behavior, and a food industry that's about to undergo a major makeover. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what these dyes are, why they're suddenly under scrutiny, and most importantly, what it means for the food sitting in your pantry right now. Let's start with a quick chemistry lesson. Synthetic food dyes aren't extracted from rainbows or harvested from unicorn tears. They're petrochemicals. Yes, derived from the same petroleum that fuels your car. The most common offenders in your grocery cart are likely red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, and blue 1. These synthetic compounds give Skittles their ability to let you taste the rainbow and make your sports drinks look like liquid neon. For decades, these dyes have been the unsung heroes of processed food marketing. After all, would your kid really beg for that cereal if it were the color of, well, actual grain? Would that fruit punch be as exciting if it were transparent instead of nuclear red? Food manufacturers love synthetic dyes because they're cheap, stable, and consistent. Natural colorings from beets or turmeric, they're finicky, expensive, and can change color over time. Plus, let's be honest, nature never intended for anything to be quite as blue as a blue raspberry slushie, as green as some jarred pickles, as orange as certain cheesy snacks, or as red as those vibrant popsicles and fruit punches. But here's where things get serious. While these dyes have been making our food pop since the 1950s, mounting evidence suggests they might be doing more than just making our tongues turn funny colors. For years, parents have insisted that certain foods make their kids bounce off the walls. Scientists initially dismissed this as confirmation bias until the research started piling up. A comprehensive review by the California Office of Environmental Health Hazard Assessment found significant links between synthetic dye consumption and increased hyperactivity in children, particularly those already diagnosed with ADHD. It turns out those parents weren't just making excuses for their kids' sugar rush. They were onto something. But behavior issues are just the appetizer in this concerning meal. Some studies have raised questions about cancer risks. Red 3, for example, has been acknowledged by the FDA as a carcinogen since the 1980s, yet somehow still appears in everything from candy to cocktail cherries. It's like finding out your favorite babysitter has a criminal record, but you keep hiring them anyway because the kids love their magic tricks. Allergic reactions, immune system disruption, and even gene damage have all appeared in various research papers examining these compounds. While the food industry has long argued that the amounts in our food are too small to matter, scientists are increasingly concerned about the cumulative effect, especially in children who might consume multiple dye-containing products throughout the day. Think about it. Breakfast cereal, flavored oatmeal, fruit snack, lunch drinks, afternoon candies, potato chips, crackers, dressings, dinner condiments, frozen meals, canned soup, cake mixes, frosting, marshmallows, gelatin desserts, and even children's vitamins and medications. That's a rainbow diet that might be leaving behind more than just colorful stains. So what changed? Why is the FDA, an agency not exactly known for its regulatory speed, suddenly acting with such urgency? For decades, the FDA's position could be summed up as, well, they probably won't be fatal. The approval process for these dyes dates back to a time when food safety meant contributes to long-term health. But three major factors have forced the agency's hand. First, the European example. While Americans have been dyeing their foods with abandon, the European Union has required warning labels on foods containing these synthetic dyes since 2010. Many manufacturers simply reformulated their products for the European market rather than slap on scary warnings. So that begs the question, if it's not good enough for Europe, why is it good enough for us? Second, new research methodologies have allowed scientists to detect subtler effects and interactions than ever before. What might have seemed safe in 1970s studies looks considerably more problematic under modern scientific scrutiny. And third, public pressure. As consumers have become more ingredient conscious and advocacy groups have amplified health concerns, the FDA found itself in an increasingly untenable position. The result? A comprehensive review of all synthetic dyes currently approved for food use, with immediate suspension of several pending further investigation. The food industry's reaction has been colorful, to say the least. Some companies are ahead of the curve, having already begun reformulating with natural alternatives. These early adopters are now smugly positioning themselves as health pioneers, conveniently forgetting they were selling the rainbow chemicals for decades. Others are fighting back, arguing that the science isn't conclusive and warning of higher food costs. Because apparently, the right to affordable neon orange cheese puffs is enshrined somewhere in our founding documents, the reality is that this transition won't be painless or cheap. Natural colorings are more expensive, less stable, and don't always achieve the same eye-popping hues. Your favorite candy might look a bit different, more earthy tones, less radioactive spill. Some manufacturers are experimenting with food technology innovations, using techniques like fermentation and extraction to create more stable natural alternatives. Others are questioning whether some foods need to be colored at all. Does vanilla pudding really need to be yellow? Does mint ice cream require green dye to communicate its flavor? For smaller food producers, this regulatory shift poses significant challenges. Reformulation is expensive, and natural colorings require different handling. Industry analysts predict a wave of mergers and acquisitions as smaller brands struggle to comply. So what does this mean for your next grocery trip? Here's what to expect. First, higher prices on some processed foods, at least temporarily, as manufacturers absorb reformulation costs. Your wallet might feel the pinch, but consider it an investment in your family's health. Second, visual changes to familiar food. That mac and cheese might look less like a safety vest and more like, well, cheese. Fruit snacks might resemble actual fruit colors rather than a psychedelic experiment. Third, improved labeling. The FDA's crackdown includes stricter labeling requirements, making it easier to identify which products contain synthetic dyes and in what amounts. If you're concerned about dyes in your current pantry items, start by reading ingredient lists. Red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, blue 1, blue 2, green 3, and red 3 are the most common offenders. They are required to be listed by name in ingredient panels. Parents of children with ADHD or sensory processing issues might want to be especially vigilant, as these populations have shown the most consistent reactions to synthetic dyes in studies. Remember, this isn't just about avoiding a few chemicals. It's about shifting toward a food system that prioritizes actual nutrition over visual appeal and marketing gimmicks. Our relationship with food has become increasingly complicated and increasingly colorful over the past century. The FDA's crackdown on synthetic dyes represents more than just a regulatory change. It's a recalibration of what we value in our food system. Maybe we don't need our snacks to be visible from space. Maybe our drinks don't need to stain our tongues. Just maybe we could get used to foods that look like what they actually are. The rainbow of synthetic dyes that has brightened our food landscape for decades is fading. But in its place, we have an opportunity to embrace something better. Food that derives its color from ingredients worth eating, not from petroleum-based chemicals with lengthy scientific names. If you found this information valuable, make sure to like and subscribe for more insights on the changing food landscape, and leave a comment below. We'd love to hear which artificially colored food you'll miss the most.